Who says Latin heat is only for telenovelas? This week, we're diving into the hottest young gay Mexican stars who are not just breaking rules, but breaking the internet with every post, performance, and stare that could melt a screen. From shirtless scandals to viral thirst traps, these names are lighting up timelines, trending in queer fan circles, and sending "Are they gay?" into Google Overdrive. Whether they've come out or kept it coy, one thing's for sure. Their energy is unapologetically hot, powerful, and queer-coded AF. Because in Mexico's new wave of stardom, being sexy and bold isn't a side effect. It's the whole damn brand. Stay tuned until the end and let us know. Who made you pause, rewind, and screenshot the moment? Drop their number in the comments and tell us where you're watching from. Joaquín Ferreira, the Netflix nude that turned into a queer icon. Joaquín Ferreira didn't walk into fame, he stormed into it, completely naked, bold, and unapologetic. When his full frontal scene in Club de Cuervos dropped on Netflix, the internet exploded. Screenshots flew across Twitter, Reddit threads debated every inch, and queer audiences everywhere collectively whispered, "Who is this man?" Born in Argentina but rising to fame in Mexico, Joaquín isn't just a pretty face or a sculpted chest. He's got range, too. From gritty drama to charming comedy, this man owns every role with the same intensity he brings to his IG thirst traps. But what really makes him a fan favorite? His energy screams sexual freedom. He plays bisexual coded characters with a confidence most straight male actors can't touch. In interviews, he's cheeky but never dismissive, embracing the sex symbol label with a wink. In one memorable moment, he said, "If people see me as a fantasy, that's their truth. I don't need to correct it." That openness has only fueled more rumors. While Joaquín hasn't publicly labeled his sexuality, his fluid fashion sense, intimate friendships with male co-stars, and fearless performances have cemented him as a queer favorite, even without an official coming out. He's also not afraid of a little fan service. Instagram, shirtless, stage play, fully nude, again, red carpet, leather, silk, lace, he's done them all. In 2022, he starred in the edgy stage show 23 Centimeters, where he played a sexually fluid character in scenes that were almost too hot for the theater. Clips from the performance went viral on TikTok, especially among Latin queer audiences. One user wrote, "He makes being masculine and soft feel sexy. He's not gay, but he understands us." Joaquín's brand is what many young queer fans crave: sensuality without shame, masculinity without toxic edge, vulnerability wrapped in raw confidence, and while he hasn't confirmed or denied any labels, maybe that's the point. In a culture obsessed with defining everything, Joaquín Ferreira remains deliciously undefined. Whether he's playing a bisexual soccer player, modeling sheer lingerie, or walking barefoot through Mexico City in an unbuttoned shirt and silver chains, he's always performing for an audience that sees him. Because for queer fans, it's not just about if he's gay, it's about how he gives us permission to desire, explore, and exist out loud. Drop a 1 if Joaquín Ferreira broke your internet this week. Moran, the Mexican heartthrob. Everyone thinks is hiding something. Moran is the kind of guy who walks into a room and makes everyone, yes, everyone, turn their head. With that chiseled jawline, piercing stare, and smooth confidence, he's long been Mexico's golden boy. But lately, fans are wondering if there's more going on behind that perfect smile. He first caught mainstream attention in Un Camino Hacia el Destino and quickly built a loyal fan base. But it wasn't until his shirtless beach scene in Like La Leyenda that queer audiences took serious notice. Twitter lit up with GIFs, fan cams, and memes calling him bi-coded royalty. What's adding fuel to the fire? His off-screen vibe is just as suspiciously fabulous. Mario doesn't shy away from fashion that blurs gender norms. Whether it's satin shirts left open to the navel, painted nails, or the occasional pearl necklace, he serves soft masculinity like it's second nature. And the friendships? Oh, they talk. From posting cuddly selfies with other male actors to his flirty banter during live interviews, Mario keeps everyone guessing. One viral clip showed him blushing after a male co-star complimented his pillow lips. His response? A smirk and, "Careful, I might start believing you." Fans screaming. He's never publicly labeled himself, and that silence only makes the internet more obsessed. In a 2023 interview, when asked about the gay rumors, he smiled and said, "Labels are for groceries, not people." Mic drop. But it's not just about speculation. Mario's choices speak volumes. He's chosen roles that explore queerness, including a closeted athlete in an upcoming indie film set in a conservative Mexican town. Sources from the set say his performance is raw, vulnerable, and so close to home it gave the crew chills. And let's talk Instagram. It's thirst trap central. Gym clips, always wet from the shower. Pool pics, abs in full focus. Mirror selfies, a new pose every week, each hotter than the last. But here's the twist. The way Mario carries his beauty doesn't feel arrogant. It feels generous, like he knows you're watching and he wants to give you something to dream about. To many young queer fans in Latin America, Mario Moran represents something powerful. A man who doesn't need to come out to feel seen by the LGBTQ+ community. A man who, intentionally or not, gives space for desire, softness, and fantasy. Whether he's gay, bi, queer-coded, or just incredibly comfortable, one thing's for sure. Mario isn't hiding. He's just letting us wonder. And that's somehow even hotter. Drop a 2 if Mario Moran has you rewatching every shirtless scene on repeat. Kevin Rogers. Mexico's queer model, turned star, you can't look away from Kevin Rogers didn't just show up, he arrived. From his earliest modeling gigs in Mexico City's underground fashion scene to now gracing digital covers and music videos, Kevin has become a magnet for queer eyes around the world. And the best part? He knows it and leans into it like a pro. Born with a model's bone structure and a rebel's attitude, Kevin first exploded onto the scene through Instagram. His feed? A curated fantasy of abs, tattoos, eyeliner, silk shirts, and a body that somehow always catches perfect lighting. But it wasn't just his looks that got people talking. It was the vibe. Bold, fluid, proud, queer-coded. Kevin Rogers is the walking, smirking definition of not here for your labels. Though he's never made a formal coming out post, his captions often hint at his queer identity without spelling it out. One of his most shared quotes, "They tried to make me pick a side, so I picked freedom instead." Fans online have dubbed him the Bad Bunny of Mexican modeling for his gender-fluid outfits and fierce expression of self-love. Whether he's rocking mesh tops, leather harnesses, or just Calvin Klein briefs and confidence, Kevin turns every sidewalk into a runway and every post into a performance. His rise to fame wasn't just fueled by fashion. Kevin's been featured in queer short films, collaborated with LGBTQ+ artists and photographers, and openly supports causes for trans youth and HIV awareness in Latin America. In a 2023 interview with a queer lifestyle magazine, he said, "I grew up not seeing anyone who looked like me and loved like me in the media. So now I make sure I'm visible enough for the next kid who needs it." That visibility is electric. In one viral TikTok campaign for a genderless fragrance line, Kevin posed in a sheer robe, dancing to a reggaeton beat with gold glitter on his face, and the comment section lost it. "This is queer Latin beauty at its peak," one user wrote. "He's not just hot, he's important." It's this balance of beauty and intention that sets Kevin apart. He's not chasing roles. He's building a persona, one that blends art, sensuality, queerness, and unapologetic Mexican pride. His fan base? Young, queer, global, and obsessed. And yes, the thirst is real. There's a reason half of Tumblr still reposts his moody, black and white mirror selfies with the caption, "Husband." But beyond the looks, it's the confidence, the refusal to shrink, that makes Kevin Rogers a symbol of the new wave of gay Mexican stars. No apologies, no explanations, just fire, fashion, and freedom. Drop a 3 if Kevin Rogers made you believe sexy and soft can exist in the same photo. Juanpa Zurita, the pretty boy with secrets the internet can't stop guessing. If you've been on the internet any time in the last decade, you've seen his face. Juanpa Zurita, the model, actor, influencer, fashion boy, and certified Mexican heartthrob with one of the most mysterious auras in Latin celebrity culture. With over 25 million Instagram followers, brand campaigns with the likes of Louis Vuitton, GQ features, and a Netflix show credit, Luis Miguel, the series. Juanpa is not just famous, he's curated. Everything about him feels perfectly edited. The lighting, the captions, the tan. But behind that filter-perfect lifestyle lies a question that's made headlines for years. Is Juanpa Zurita gay? Or just the internet's favorite tease? Let's break it down. From the start of his rise, fans couldn't help but notice how effortlessly Juanpa blurred the lines. He wore nail polish before it was a trend. He posted shirtless mirror selfies with sultry glances and cryptic captions. He gushed over close male friends with language that sounded more like poetry than bro talk. And then came the photo sets. Juanpa draped in mesh. Juanpa in soft pink satin. Juanpa kissing a male friend on the cheek with a winky emoji. The internet, especially LGBTQ+ fans, went feral. He's giving soft boy queer icon energy, one Tumblr post read. Another tweeted, Juanpa's closet has glass doors. Still, Juanpa's never confirmed anything. In interviews, he dances around the question. When asked about dating, he shrugs. When probed about identity, he talks about freedom. And that's the key. His aesthetic and persona radiate queer-coded confidence without ever needing a label. And honestly, that ambiguity is part of the power. Because in a culture where machismo still dominates, Juanpa's soft masculinity, vulnerability, and expressive style push quiet boundaries. He shows Mexican boys that it's okay to cry, to wear silk, to pose like a Vogue model, and still be adored. Let's not forget, in 2022, a video of him walking a runway in a see-through mesh top with lace detailing went viral on queer TikTok. The top comment? If he's not gay, he's the best ally the gays could ever ask for. And that's the thing. Whether or not Juanpa identifies as LGBTQ+, he's carving space for boys who don't fit the mold. He's rewriting Mexican stardom from macho to magnetic. He's not shouting rebellion, but he's living it, frame by frame, story by story. Juanpa Zurita may never give us a coming out post, but the quiet revolution he's leading? It's just as loud. Drop a 4 if Juanpa made you question how many types of masculinity should exist. Alejandro Puente, the soft-spoken star who might be queer. Cinema's next obsession. If you don't know Alejandro Puente yet, you're about to. He's got that magnetic mix of mystery, talent, and vulnerability that makes people lean in, hit follow, and whisper, "Wait, is he queer?" Best known for his role in Netflix's Control Z, Alejandro played a bisexual teen navigating love, chaos, and identity in one of Mexico's most talked-about Gen Z series. And while the role was fictional, it struck a chord, because Alejandro didn't just play bisexual, he felt it. From the way he moved through scenes to the softness in his voice, he brought something many actors don't: lived-in empathy. Fans were quick to notice. "No straight man could have acted that convincingly tender," one TikTok fan said in a viral clip of his scenes, and then came the Instagram flood. Alejandro posts aren't your typical actor thirst traps, though yes, the face is flawless and the jawline could cut glass. Instead, his feed is moodier. Shadowy portraits, emotional captions, poems in Spanish about love and longing, and the occasional vulnerable selfie with no filter. Let's talk about that vibe. In interviews, Alejandro is open about questioning gender roles, masculinity, and the way Latin culture pressures boys to be hard, distant, emotionless. "I want to tell stories where men are allowed to feel," he once said. He also credits Pedro Almodovar as one of his biggest influences, a clear nod to queer Spanish cinema and emotional depth over surface beauty. Fans have been connecting dots ever since. Is he gay? Bi? Fluid? He's never said, and honestly, he might not need to, because Alejandro is becoming something bigger, a mirror for young Latinx fans figuring themselves out. He once shared a quote on his story that read, "I don't want to be a role model. I want to be a reminder that softness is strength." The post was reshared thousands of times across queer accounts and cemented Alejandro as more than a heartthrob. He's a soft queer icon in the making. And let's be real, he knows he's beautiful. He knows the dim lighting, unbuttoned linen shirt, and faraway gaze combo drives fans wild. He's effortlessly sexy, without ever being obvious. It's the kind of allure that leaves you wondering, does he know what he's doing? He does. This year, Alejandro hinted at working on a project with queer themes again, this time behind the camera. "It's time for us to tell our own stories," he said cryptically at a film panel. Whether or not Alejandro Puente ever confirms his sexuality, he's already given queer fans across Latin America something powerful: representation that doesn't scream, but still speaks volumes. Drop a 5 if Alejandro's energy made you pause mid-scroll and just feel something. In a world where filters are flawless and fame moves fast, these 5 young Mexican stars are doing more than just showing skin or chasing clout. They're rewriting what queer visibility looks like in Latin media. From Joaquín Ferreira's bold, unapologetic screen presence to Alejandro Puente's poetic softness that touches something deeper. Each of them brings a new shade to what it means to be young, Latin, and possibly queer in 2025. They flirt with the line. They blur it. They don't owe anyone a label, but in doing so, they've given us representation, inspiration, and just the right amount of chaos. Because being hot is one thing. Being hot and honest, that's what breaks the internet. So who made you feel the most? Who's making Mexico a little prouder and a little louder? Drop their number in the comments and tell us where you're watching from. We're reading everything. On fire.